Sometimes the man we have seems strong, but really isn't strong. And, that's a part that we don't say out loud. We see him 6 feet one. We feel his presence. We see him as being silent. And I know sometimes they're not all 6'1", but they are, or at least we've convinced ourselves that they're strong. We see his presence. We see sometimes that he's silent, and we mistake that for quiet strength. We assume that when we see him being smooth and reserved, that's a reflection of how stable your life will be. We assume that his silence means he is deep, reflective, and contemplative. We don't think for a moment, in fact, he may be hiding, that he's quietly insecure and waiting to pounce on you for even the smallest thing. So, what if it's not strength? What if it's something else? We feel the pressure, and that pressure sits right amongst the relationship. It's the kind of pressure that you adjust to so often that you no longer even realize that you're adjusting. So, here's the thing: a lot of us have been circling around their emotional intolerance. And what I mean by that, I mean orbiting around him and his emotional capacity up to this point in the relationship. So it's not that we're just organizing our time around his schedule or his job alone. Most importantly, we organize around his tolerance or lack thereof. We find ourselves wondering, what can he handle without flinching, without squirming? What can he hear from me without getting all uptight? How much truth can he handle without falling to pieces? How much disagreement is too much for him? How much directness can this guy take? And to manage it all, we adjust. We lower our volume, we soften the edges around the heavy things that need to be addressed between us. We even time our conversation so that they're given at a time that he can take it. We wait for the right mood. We wait for the right window. And if we're honest, I don't know what that is, but it feels like we're being the mature ones. But isn't maturity? It feels more unsettling than that inside of us. It feels more insidious. It's definitely preemptive. It's definitely us being anticipatory. It's us shaping ourselves to avoid a reaction that we know we're going to get. It's not violent, but it is walking on eggshells. We brace before anything ever happens. We edit before there's any objection. We shrink before there's pushback to prevent it all. And it's felt in our bodies in real time. It's felt as these things happen. And we tell ourselves, girl, you're just keeping the peace. Somebody has to do it. We'll even say that we should be doing this because he's tired and the world is tough on him. But in fact, what we're doing is more than managing the relationship. We're not just saying it softer to manage his reactions, we are stabilizing to prevent his reaction. And then we absorb it all. Now, to be fair, there's nothing wrong when both of you stabilize the relationship or stabilize each other or stabilize yourselves within your relationship. But there's something deeply wrong when you alone are doing that work. We most often structure the emotional environment so that he never has to feel destabilized, or not most of the time. And yes, that includes managing his reactions, and it also includes managing his ego. And my dear, that's labor. It's quiet labor. It's heavy labor, the kind that they say that they can't see, but we do know that we're providing it. And we feel the impact of it when he goes quiet, and you're the one who has to break that quiet. You break the silence and you do it first. You feel it when you explain yourself twice, then a third time. You feel it when you decide it's not worth bringing this up right now. You feel it when you're exhausted after what looked on its face like this is going to be a normal evening. Over time, it all just gets very tiresome. So, are men fragile? Some, yes. And when he is, it looks like defensiveness. It looks like him shutting down. It looks like those times when he punishes you subtly, when you speak in a direct tone, when you don't soften yourself to suit him. It looks like a mood shift the moment you stop affirming him, and he becomes distant for the rest of the evening. When you say, when you said that, I felt dismissed, and somehow the conversation becomes about whether you said it and sounded irritated. Now you're not discussing how you felt about what happened. You wind up defending how you said a thing. You wind up explaining your tone instead of finishing your point. It's when, can we talk about what happened earlier, turns into, why are you coming at me like that? It's when your directness gets reframed as criticism of them. It's when directness equals tension, and tension causes him to disconnect. So adjust, and you do. And when admiration drops even slightly, the air between you changes. You can feel it. The space between you, it tightens. Conversations get careful, so you compensate. You become more agreeable, more supportive, more measured. You soften so that he doesn't harden. Because keeping him steady keeps the relationship steady. And that's the deal. Unspoken, but real. You, my dear, are the emotional shock absorber. And you do it so smoothly. He pretends he's unaware of the work that you're doing for the both of you. But give this thought. If he experiences disagreement as disrespect, you find yourself slowly disappearing, trying to prevent that. And that's not me being dramatic. That's actually what happens. That's you eroding yourself, slowly disappearing, trying to prevent it. It happens slowly, it happens quietly, but it's definitely cumulative. So let me say this carefully. Some men experience being challenged as you diminishing them, even when you're calm, even when you are kind, even when you are right. And when you love someone like that, you begin cushioning everything. You tell yourself, I'm being supportive. But in fact, you're protecting his fragility from reality. And you can argue with yourself that he just needs reassurance. No, if reassurance becomes protection from truth, then that's fragility. And if you're the one constantly performing this, you're doing that in spite of the cost to yourself. But you know that if you want equity inside of your relationship, he has to tolerate you being fully present. Now, here's the open question that I started with. Is he strong? Strength can handle discomfort without collapsing into ego. Fragility cannot. Fragility requires you to dim yourself so that fragility can stay intact. And in midlife, that's just not our vibe. I'll tell you, my patience is thinner now. My energy is lower now. And I'm not getting back to baseline after emotional tension. And in midlife, this cost is real. You notice the way your body feels after holding all of this for days, weeks sometimes, months, and sometimes years for some of us. You notice that you sleep so much longer when you do make it to vacation. And in midlife, this noticing changes us. It's time to center yourself. Centering yourself is not attacking him, it's refusing to keep cushioning his fragility, though. It's saying something once and leaving it at that. It's saying something in a normal tone and letting his reaction belong to him. It's not rushing to smooth it over. It's not rushing to reassure. It's not rushing to explain yourself into something smaller. And that is the shift. You stop buffering. You stop bracing for what the impact might be. You stop absorbing what isn't yours. So here's my clear thought. His fragility is not your responsibility. If he cannot stay steady when you are fully yourself, that's not strength at all. If he needs you smaller to feel solid, that, in fact, is fragility. You don't have to dramatize it. You don't have to blow up anything. You don't have to attack the situation when you see that for what it is. You simply stop protecting it quietly and just observe. Some men will grow, some men will fracture. Either will reveal what was already there. We are naming the cost to us. So when we talk about men's fragility, we're not insulting them. We're talking about our own cost. If you keep carrying his emotional instability, he never has to confront it. And you never get to rest. There is a trade happening. You stabilize the relationship and he avoids discomfort. You shrink, he gets emotional ease, and the cost is paid by you. That cost is paid by us. Midlife is when you're pushed to really start questioning that exchange. You don't need to fix him. You don't need to rescue him. You need to stop shielding his fragility from consequence, and that's it. That's all. Don't rush yourself to resolve and to shapeshift yourself. Keep steady. Stay focused on making you better and balancing the load the next time you have to say something direct to him. Let him sit with his fragility. It's really time. If he feels heavy, let him hold his own weight because you deserve a respite too. Take care of yourself. No, really, take care of yourself. And I will see you in the very next video.